Coming up on the DIZPod, it is Q&A night. Oh boy, let's go. Here we are. This is number 20, right? This is episode 20. So here we are. We made it. I mean, doesn't it just seem like it was yesterday that we were somewhere else?
You know, it's been a busy week. We kept the Zoom call to less than 4 hours yesterday. That was really good. But it still feels like it's been a busy week.
Always a busy week. No matter what we're doing, each of us, we all have our own things. We all have our own lives. And I feel like when I talk about how busy I am, that there are some people just listening out there going, oh my God, there he goes again. I'm busy too. I have a life. I got kids and a minivan, and I've got soccer and, whatever else you got going on. Don't have to just be a mom. So we're all busy, but, I guarantee one thing, y'all don't have a YouTube channel also. So mix that into your busy life. So yeah, it's Jersey night. If you're noticing, if you're watching, there are no Hawaiian shirts tonight. And that is because it's Hitchhiking Ghost Jersey night in honor of the World Series. So Lawrence and I are a little bit matchy-matchy. The colors are opposites. But check it out.
I don't have the jersey, but I do have a Haunted Mansion shirt. But hold on. Is this room actually stretching? Yeah.
Is this room actually stretching? And I've got the back too. We have the back, Lawrence. We have the back to show.
That's right. So Corey's $9.99 in honor of the amount of Ghost. Mine, let's see if I can do this.
And Lawrence. So I have the black version. Lawrence has the purple, and it says Lawrence on the back, 103. So we're contrasting. That's what it is. We're purple and black. It would remind me of like early days, and they change them so much, but you know where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
It's the Colorado Rockies.
The Rockies, yep.
The Rockies colors. Yeah.
When the Marlins came out, they were, they were teal. So you had the purple and teal because it was early 90s.
Yeah. Right. Yep. That's probably why they did that then.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone in chat. Thank you so much for joining us on this latest live recording of the DIZPod. And I mean, I know I listen. Sorry for everybody live that we were late again, but we had to download a lot of video tonight, and I think you're going to enjoy it. If you are listening, definitely, if you're interested in, I don't know how the rest of you guys are going to show what you have to show. But for me, I decided the best way to do it, because our camera here is a good camera for streaming, but I thought the best way to present my Magic Band collection was through video and replay it with you all. And I can kind of do a little play-by-play with that. So that's why that took so long. But we're here, and then the audio was messed up, so we had fixed that again. It's tradition, though.
Tradition. Speaking of tradition, actually, I have a Haunted Mansion mug.
I do.
Look at that! Oh boy, listen.
I do too.
Listen, we didn't even talk about that. And I was so frazzled. That's probably why I didn't look. I don't even know if I have one. Isn't that strange?
Shame on you, Corey.
I bet you did.
I went totally different. This is from Disneyland. It's Avengers. Okay. So it's a lab mug. And what is cool about it is, look at the little spout there.
Oh, nice.
And of course, a most unique handle. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, mine is coffin shaped, so it's rectangle at the top. It's very interesting to drink out of.
Oh, we want to see you drink out of it live. He's doing it. He's like me. He doesn't remove the price tags on the bottom either.
No, I don't have time for that.
I got mine too.
Jen W says, "Oh no, Corey needs a mug." Thanks for joining us last night, Jen W, and Crayola Kid. One on top of the other there in chat. They joined us their first Zoom call.
Yeah.
And so happy to have them joined. The Zoom just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I tell you all, I told them last night, right? I said, pretty soon, we're going to get so many people in the Zoom call that they're going to get so small. We're going to form like a Mickey Mouse or Darth Vader picture. And you look really close. There's Lawrence. I see Lawrence right there.
We're just going to be little thumbnails. That's all.
Yes, exactly. She says I didn't talk because I wasn't feeling well, so I listened. Well, I'm glad that you still came in, and hopefully you'll talk with us the next time. For sure. Hello, Amanda. Happy Thursdays to everybody. So I don't really have much for small talk right now, I think. I mean, anything before we get on with this whole thing, because it could take a little bit. It's question and answer night. I told Tammy I'm closing the studio. We're going hot. We're getting ready. And I don't even know if I'll have a channel at the end of this, because I could spout off. I could go down the wrong rabbit hole. I'm an open book to you all tonight. So if you want to ask some questions behind the scenes, things like that. Does Tammy wear a mouthpiece when she goes to bed? I don't know. Be appropriate though.
My audio board has a censor button, so if you go too far off the rails,
Yeah, I don't want to go too far off the rails, because everybody, I would say, up 99% of the people that watch us love us. 1% hates us. And we know who you are. So
yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
They are very vocal and very imaginative.
Yes, very creative.
Inventing those stories. Yes.
When you have nothing else to do,
yeah,
this is what you do.
Yes,
so
they read their fan fiction.
I don't want to darken the mood, but I'll just say one thing that's been on my mind a little bit. And what a great spirit. I had a patient today that told me that she was awaiting word if she had lung cancer. Can you imagine? And the call came while I was there, and she does. So I just tried to brighten her spirits the best I could. And she acted like nothing happened, but I'm sure it's going to wear on her, especially after I left the house. So what a sweet, sweet lady. And all I can do is hope the best for her. For sure. No one likes to get that kind of message from them for themselves or any loved ones. So that was kind of the low light of my day, I guess, the major impact of my day. But I'm feeling good. I was really worn out after Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So
yes,
there's a lot going on there. Very tired. I was just dragging so much yesterday at work. And normally I bounce back enough on those types of things, but there were other factors that had drained my energy as well. But I'm back. I'm strong today. How about you, Lawrence? All good today? Oh, we can't hear you. When you bounce back, we can't hear you. That boy has too many buttons to play with. That's the thing. I don't know if you want to bounce out or come back in again, but Victor Naraki is in the chat. What is up, Victor? He said, recommend Immunocal for cancer patients. Oh, text me on that. Maybe I can pass something on to her. Thank you so much for those well wishes, everybody in chat. So can we hear you now, Lawrence? Can't hear you.
Nope.
So yep, sending hugs and energy. That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. How many pieces of candy? Okay, so I guess we'll touch on this anyway when we get into in the parks. But we weighed the candy, and I ended up with 19.6 pounds of candy. And Kathy was like, what?
I had 3.2 pounds.
3.2 pounds.
Yep.
So that's a lot of candy. That thing is heavy.
Some of mine, I was giving Jill a lot of my candy, so some of that 19.6 was actually mine. So I probably had maybe between 3.5 and 4 pounds of candy.
So we owe you some candy then.
Now you don't.
If you want it.
No.
All right. I thought you might not want it. I thought you might not want it.
No, dude, I gotta lose 20 pounds, man. I can't be eating all this candy.
Yeah, I can only grab 1 or 2 pieces a day. So we'll see how long that lasts. That's almost a small person, says Jill. It's definitely an infant. That was a big baby
that is
for
a
you.
toddler. That is a toddler for sure. Yeah.
All right, let's see what Lawrence has to do to bring this thing forward.
He's back.
All right, good. All right. So, man, this is going to be a good one. So, it's always nice to hear a little bit of behind the scenes, and we'll find out whether people really want to do that later on in the show. We'll talk about the survey that we did. And we had some great responses to that. We had about 71 responses, I think it was. So that was great. Thank you for participating in that. My company does surveys, and we read them back every 2 weeks. The sales managers like myself, the vice presidents, and even the president of the company. And we talk about every little thing. And so I think that's really cool that that's what we're doing here tonight. And we'll kind of go through that. But we do have some questions that came in first. So if you guys are ready, we will start with those.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's see. So Dina asks, how many hours of sleep do you get when you are live in the parks?
All right. So let's go to the most extreme. We'll do a Tuesdays, Wednesdays back to back. So I go to the park and I leave. So typically my schedule lately has been, I won't do Magic Kingdom on Tuesday. I do it on Wednesday. So let's just say I leave Epcot at 10:30. I leave immediately after going off the air. And it will take me, 10:30, get to the car about 10:45. And I would say 11. I get home about midnight, and I really don't waste any time. I basically drop my bags and head right to bed. So get into bed, we'll say, we'll just round down or round up. We'll go 12:30. So you're talking about 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. I get 4 hours and 3/4 sleep for that particular one, because I'm at the gym I had to get up at 6:15 to get to the gym for 7.
Yeah.
So I'm there. And then you couple that with Wednesdays, and now I work the full day, and then get back up to the park. And Magic, let's say Magic closes at 11. I'm probably not getting to the car till 12:15 on my best night. So 1:15, I'm probably going to bed about 1:45, and I get to sleep a little bit the next morning till about 7:30. So do the math on that one. So that is about how much sleep I get. And thank the Lord that I have built-in energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think when I'm at the parks, it's probably about the same. Although I'm not streaming, we are normally closing it down. And as Catherine said, when you and I are there, just count another 2 hours talking after the parking lot, tram, and all that. So I don't get much sleep when I'm there either.
No, when it's a weekend, and you're with friends, you don't quite leave right away. So people probably wonder, once I say goodnight and the stream ends, okay, is Corey heading to the car now, or is he hanging out? There's times when we have friends, we'll hang out on Main Street a little bit and, and have a little bit of us time there, but or just really take our time getting back to the car. We've gotten to the car and talked at the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've hung out at least for another hour, hour and a half sometimes, depending on who's around,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Fun times.
So,
got to make it last.
That's right.
That's right. It doesn't matter how many times you go to Disney. I tell everybody I don't like to leave any night.
Yeah. It's funny talking about that. I actually earlier today was watching your stream of the last night at Magic when the parks closed for COVID. And I could see it. I could feel it. Was it just you and Jillian? I just saw you and Jillian.
No, it was the entire family.
Okay. I only saw you and Jillian. I could just feel in her expression and your expression, like, no, I'm going to stay as long as I can because I don't know how soon I'm coming back. Actually got me a little choked up just thinking about it. But
Yeah,
I know that feeling. Not
it
one.
gave me the entire chills from my head to my toes when you mentioned that stream, because, and it's doing it again. It's such a monumental stream in the life of our channel. There's so much was going on in the world, and we got to show everyone what was happening right on Main Street in Magic Kingdom the night Magic Kingdom closed. And Jillian was crying, and it was a whole thing. And we just thought, oh, this thing will pass over. And Disney, first of all, we can't believe Disney's closing, and number two, it's going to pass over within a couple of weeks, and we'll be good to go. We really didn't think it would become what it did.
No.
Years. We're still dealing with it.
Yeah.
Still dealing with it years later. It's good, like the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just gotta forget what COVID was.
Yeah.
It's the flu. It's the flu.
New flu.
I saw a patient yesterday, no mask on because there were no warning signs, but I just got a message today that she tested positive for COVID, but it's whatever.
Mm. All right. Question 2, also from Dina. Do you have access to PhotoPass photos? And if so, what do you do with them?
PhotoPass is interesting because we did have PhotoPass for many years, and about, give or take, last year or the year before, Disney decided to charge pass holders $99 to add that to your annual pass. And it was free before. So it's one of those things that I took a stand on where I said, you know what, I'm not going to pay $99 for this. And the only reason why I didn't, of course, when you're on vacation, you want to get all the iconic pictures. I get all that. But when you're there all the time, the pictures, you don't need the pictures every time you go.
Yeah.
If I'm going to Magic, 100 times this year, it's not as meaningful. But when my friends are there, yeah, I like it. So really, I have enough friends, Dina, I don't know if Kathy has it. Do you have PhotoPass, Kathy?
I do not, but I know, because I was doing this a lot at the Halloween party the other night. There's always an extra cast member there with the characters and stuff. You just hand them your phone, and you get the same pictures that they're taking. It's maybe not as great a quality because they filter out lights and all that kind of stuff with their fancy cameras. But I got some great shots of Jill and I with the characters, more than enough. And I'm gonna tell you that, especially the ones where we were with the Mad Hatter and Alice, I must have like 25 shots ongoing of the whole interaction. It was amazing.
Nice.
That cast member kept shooting things, and we got a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't feel like I really need to get PhotoPass, because just hand the camera to the cast member and they will take your shots for you.
And what's nice is Lawrence has PhotoPass and Neil has PhotoPass. So Neil's like, I'll just send you stuff. And Lawrence sends me things when, I don't need them all, but I think I trust him when he thinks there's a photo I should have, he sends them over. Just like we didn't have the Tron photos, and you sent them to me. And I think Neil did too. So we got the photos. So thank you, guys. That's how we do it.
Yeah, so we use PhotoPass. Of course, Finley and all her dresses and all that. We gotta make the most of it. And in fact, sometimes we will print up our pictures. Not often, but I do use them. There's one there. There's two there. So kind of collages. But I do also download all my pictures, because with an annual pass, they only last for the year. So I download them all and keep them.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to take a question from the chat.
Excellent. And to make it easier for us, if you have a question, put a Q ahead of your question so it's easier to spot.
Mm-hmm. So Menu Rager says, we're staying at All-Star Movies, and on one of our off days, we'd like to go to Boardwalk. How would we get there from our resort?
That's easy. That's easy. That you just get the bus to Disney Springs, and you just change buses to the resort you want to go to.
Easy enough. Yeah,
I figured
kind of like the hub, if you will, for that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun to do that. I know we've done that before where we've taken a day and we've just gone resort hopping, just from our resort, just go to Disney Springs, hop on a random bus, go check it out for the day, and come back to Disney Springs and go get another bus and go check another one out and just spend a day doing that. It's quite the adventure. It's fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Another question from chat from Mom. Hi, Mom. How many pieces of candy did you eat, Corey?
Well, I mean, I talked about it. Like for me, the fun and adventure is just getting the candy. You don't really trick or treat as an adult anymore. So Disney gives you a chance to do that. So it's just my fun thing is let's see how much we can get.
Yeah.
And so what have I eaten? I mean, I can literally almost tell you. Like I had a package of Skittles and I had a Milky Way bar. That's all I can remember so far. And one of those I consumed it in the park. I mean, just after seeing all that candy, finally, I'm like, all right, I need some chocolate.
I had 2 pieces on the drive home when I was driving home.
Yeah. Maybe that piece of chocolate.
I couldn't wait. I'm like, it's sitting right there. I'm such a chocoholic. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, at least you only had 2.
I only had 2.
Maybe I had the piece of chocolate to keep my mind off of Tammy not allowing me to go to the restroom.
I've had more since, but I'm trying. I just divvied it out before. I'm like, I kept my little pile that I want, and the rest is going to get donated to. We have a candy dish at where I work, so I'm the keeper of the candy dish. So it's going all in the candy dish for the patients.
Nice.
Mother of Dragons, keeper of the candy dish.
Yes.
So Darren says, coming in 2 weeks, what clothing do we pack? I live in Missouri, so we're used to colder weather.
Oh man, that's good. That's good information knowing where you are geographically. So, man, this is what I say. I don't know what the forecast is upcoming, but I would do this. I would just pack a pair of jeans and maybe a long sleeve shirt or a sweatshirt, and the rest just go all summer. Shorts, flip flops, all that good stuff, and you'll be fine.
I would bring a variety of things. I would bring at least 2 pairs of like colder things, and then, mix it up. You got to mix it up because the weather can be unpredictable this time of year. So you never know. It's to the
point where this is what we do when we're about to plan a day at the park. I look at the temperatures at like 9, 10, 11 p.m. And if it's starting to hang around the high 60s, that's when the debate comes up to your tolerance. Okay, am I going to be comfortable? You're not going to be freezing at, 65 into 70, but at night you could be uncomfortable. But them being from Missouri, if they don't get cold that easily, then just very minimal as far as the long shirts and pants go. I would say go 80% summer. How about that?
Yeah, you have, being from up north, you have thicker blood. Now, I've been down here long enough now that my blood is thinning out.
Same.
But, yeah. So, but bring a variety. It's always good to bring a variety because you never know. Bring some wet weather stuff, a raincoat maybe, or an umbrella, because you never know.
Yeah.
Because those ponchos can get expensive, especially if you have a big family.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing. Weather-wise, always count on rain in Florida. This is why I love fall though too. That it in winter, like it rarely rains, but always take your choice of rain cover. Some people like ponchos. Some people like umbrellas. I don't like ponchos. We started with ponchos when we lived here. And the reason why I hate them is the rain comes down and it still gets your legs wet, in my opinion, including half your shorts. So when I'm I need an umbrella for streaming anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't get that wet with an umbrella. So I'm an umbrella guy. We're an umbrella family.
I have both poncho and umbrella. But just don't forget that it is still technically hurricane season down here till the end of November. So always count on some rain and wind, maybe.
Excuse me. Good tip. Dole Whip Dave says, Corey, when are you going to move closer to Disney?
So this is the plan. Tammy and I are kind of waiting for the kids to leave the nest. That's when the move. Well, that's not necessarily when the move has to happen. I think we're just waiting for the kids to be done with school. We just don't want to move them from school at this point. So once that happens and school is done, I think that we'll kind of look at things and see what the real estate market will do for us, because that is my plan. I definitely want to get closer to Disney. It doesn't have to be right next door, although I'd love that, but it doesn't have to be right next door, but let's try to get under 30 minutes in the commute, you know?
Yeah.
Let's get under 30, because that wouldn't bother me half as much. I just think that extra 30 to 45 minutes home is rough on a Wednesdays. And I would guarantee this, if I lived that close, you all would be getting more content. So when we make that move, hopefully we'll be doing more, you know, whether it's some vlogs. I envision like this Sunday morning live stream, you know, like an 8 to noon or a 9 to noon, something like that, maybe, you know. So
nice.
That's the plan.
Disney Dina says, I know Corey's thoughts on Space Ranger Spin, but what is one ride you could each live without in each of the parks?
Each of the park. I like this. All right, everybody think. I guess I'll go first. I'll talk myself through it. So if I'm thinking Magic Kingdom, I could probably go. It's kind of iconic, so my brain is going between, again, Buzz Lightyear. I know I give it a hard time, but I'd probably rather keep. No, you know what? I'd rather keep the teacups. So and the carousel's the carousel. Buzz Lightyear. I can do without Buzz Lightyear. It's a horrible ride. It's horrible. You don't even know what, if you think you know what you're pointing at, you don't know. You don't really know. You're just messing with all of us, and you probably get off the ride and go eat a Mickey ice cream sandwich after that.
I don't know how Jacob gets the perfect score. I have no clue what happens in that. I just do it because Finley likes it. I have no clue what I'm doing.
Why don't you ride with him next time?
Yeah, good idea.
Watch and learn.
Good idea.
I watched a TikTok or a reel the other day where a cast member, you know, one of the VIP cast members, let the guest shoot her with the camera, and she talked about every single thing you need to do, plus bonuses that I don't even know if Jacob knows, for Toy Story.
Oh,
I'll have to talk to him about some of the tips she gave.
very cool.
And it almost sounds like you have to team up with somebody, but unless you're really, really good. So
I think.
Okay, so Kathy. Oh, you. That's right.
Mine would be Astro Orbiter. I could do without that one. I'm okay.
I forgot
with rides, but that one you're sitting back to back, or behind each other, so it's uncomfortable. You're kind of leaning. You're high up. I could just do without it. I've done it once. I'm good.
I won't backtrack, but if I would have thought of that one, I would have gone that way too.
See, that's how much you don't even like it. You didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I don't even think about it. To me, it's pretty when we're riding People Mover. Everybody, look how pretty this is tonight.
For me, for Magic Kingdom, Magic Kingdom ride I could do without. Now, does it have to be a ride, or does it can be anything? Because for me, I could do without the Swiss Family Treehouse. I don't need to be climbing around Disney. That doesn't do it for me.
When's the last time you did that?
Oh God, 2003 maybe 2002.
Oops, that's an old slide.
What about Tom Sawyer Island?
Oh, I've done that. I did that maybe about 4 or 5, the year before COVID. So 2019. Yeah, that was the last time I did that one.
Wow, some Dole Whip Dave.
So it's
by Jungle Cruise. He would just
Whoa.
Wow,
really?
How about that?
Do we think that they make the audio like that because it should be like that? You're in the jungle and you've just got the old radio there you hold.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
I think it's for
I think they're funny.
effect.
Yeah.
I think they're funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
All right, so we
Oh,
do
it
each
did.
park then? Each park?
Yeah. So
Yes.
Each park? Okay. So which park you doing next, Corey?
Let's go to Hollywood Studios. So for me, Hollywood Studios, if my brain does a speed walk through the entire thing, it probably brings me back to Lightning McQueen. Although right near it, I really wouldn't care. I ride it and it's fun, but it really racks my neck. I almost wouldn't care if they got rid of Rock and Roller Coaster either. But if I put it down between those two, it's probably Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen is cute. They did a good job with it. It's great for the kids. We show it if we haven't done it in a while because I think it's worth showing. But if I had to get rid of one, it would be Lightning McQueen.
Boy, I had one, I thought, for Hollywood Studios. I don't know. Kathy, you go first.
For me, it's Tower of Terror. Do not drop me. You can spin me all you want. Don't drop me.
Oh boy.
That's what Kathy said when I picked her up one day. You can spin me around, but don't drop me. That'll get some run online later.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we know who's gonna run with that one, don't we?
Absolutely. There you go.
Fiction.
I threw you fan fiction. I love it.
The fan fiction, baby. Those
Boy.
people are fan fiction experts because they are got some imagination.
That's right.
Man, I guess I would have to say, what's the in Toy Story?
Saucers?
Yeah, because
I've
Okay.
never been on
I'm
it.
good with everything there.
I've never been on it. Corey, we have to go on it next time we're there. I've never been on that.
Maybe.
You and I are going. You and I are going to Hollywood Studios next week, I believe.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Right?
Yep.
Yep. So we'll do it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
That ride, when you have a little space, it's fun because you can gain momentum and just slide hips with the other person, and try to jam them into the sidewall, which is always fun.
Yeah.
So,
Lawrence, you've never done swirling saucers?
No, I've done it.
I've never done
She's
it.
never done it.
Oh. But you could do without it.
Yeah, I mean, I like all the attractions there. I almost went Indiana Jones, but yeah, I'll go swirling saucers.
Indiana Jones has had a great run, but I would not be sad if they rethemed it or even
Revamped it.
did a new indie show.
Something.
Yeah, they changed it though. I remember they used to do the more audience participation. Probably because of COVID now that they don't do it where they ask for the
That's why.
audience. Yeah,
That's why.
I know I've done it twice. I got picked twice to go up there and be part of the cast. It was pretty.
They should have
fun.
brought it back by now, though. They could have brought that back.
They could have brought.
There's
that
no
back.
reason why
Yeah.
they had to dump that.
And guess how they picked me. Guess you could. I know you know that how I got picked to be on the extras.
They heard you screaming, "Pick me, pick me!"
Absolutely. No, not pick me, but I would just scream my head off and that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's see. Let's move over to Epcot. So for me, it's really easy to dump on Nemo. So I would probably say Nemo.
Mission Space.
It's cute. I like it. But if Nemo left, or they said you have to get rid of one ride, I would choose that.
I'm with Kathy. Mission Space.
Mission Space. I'm sorry. I don't. My claustrophobia. No, I'll never get on that ride anyway. So.
Man, you guys are thinking of some good ones. Can I agree with you? I would rather get rid of that instead of Nemo.
Nemo's cute, man. I love Nemo. He's so cute.
And Mission Space came in 2002, 3, somewhere in there, I think.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
But we'll keep Space 220. The Space 220.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah. Keep Space 220.
We'll keep, and we learned that you could just walk into Space 220 at
a
few minutes before.
Yeah.
We learned that last night. So for Animal Kingdom, there's not a lot there.
There's one. You're going to forget about it, and then I'm going to say it, and you're going to be like, yeah, okay.
I'm going to go with the dino spin, the triceratops spin. That one can go.
Okay. I was
Um,
thinking in the same area, dinosaur.
Oh, I like dinosaur.
I wouldn't be sad if they did something else over there. I wouldn't be sad about it.
Yeah. I've never done the Flight of Avatar Passage thing, but I mean, it's a cool. I wish I could do it, but yeah, I'll say the Triceratops spin as well. I could lose that one.
Where is Flight of Passage on your list of things? Because Kathy has a specific journey to, that's going to be a tough one for you because it's the whole locking me in type of thing.
Being locked in. Can't lock me in. That's
right.
When we talk about Inside the Parks this week, let's bring up Kathy's experience at Soarin'.
Yep.
I want to say something about that.
Yep. What's left?
Oh, we did them all.
We did all. We did them all. We did all 4.
Okay.
Next question.
Very cool. Crayola Kid says, what is the cheapest way to get from the airport to your Disney resort?
I'm going to let Lawrence handle that one. He's done that. I haven't done that in 9 years.
So I have driven to the parks, or we've driven to the parks from North Carolina. I don't recommend that. We have flown and rented a car. We have flown and done an Uber or Lyft. And we also did Mears Connect. I never got to do the Magical Express.
Oh, yeah. We did it once. We think we did it once.
So I would say Mears Connect for a large group, best way, cheapest way. You're about $18, $19 round trip. Takes you right to your resort. Yeah, if you have a child that has a car seat, you don't have to worry about bringing a car seat, so it's less for you to have to worry about. So I would say Mears would be my favorite.
Jen W in chat says I used Mears in July and it was $18 each way. Good deal.
18 each way? Maybe it was 18 each way. But it comes out a lot cheaper than the Lyft or something like that. And certainly renting a car. We haven't rented a car in probably over a year. Andy Powers says, who spends a lot of time with you guys from over the other side of the ocean?
Well, you do for sure. It does not go unnoticed. We've got our European crew for sure.
Yes. Theo Sam Eagle says, is Corey the king of the castle? I can answer that. That's a no.
Oh, you answered it? No?
Yeah,
no,
Tammy.
I am not this castle, no, I am not the king of the castle. Listen.
Tammy's the queen.
So life for me goes like this. So Tammy is a silent ruler. So there are times that, of course, I mean, I rarely make decisions without her, even down to we're going to the movies tomorrow night and seats are kind of scarce. So before I know better, that before I make a choice on something like that, I'm gonna text her and say, hey, here's the deal. These are the options, and I let her make the choice. But as far as just everything in life that we do, part of why our marriage has just been so amazing is that we just mesh well. We just do, if that makes sense. Like there's no, hey, do this, hey, do that. You should be doing this. It's just we just do. We just know our roles and we do them. Even when raising the kids as baby, we just knew our roles. So when it applies to the channel, yes, I think that, it can really feel like, I run this channel 100%. I make all the decisions. What Tammy does, and which probably Catherine does too, is she just listens. And if she likes what she's hearing in the decisions I've made, she says nothing. But if she doesn't like a decision, then I hear her. I mean, there's ups and downs in, doing this for 5.5 years. We've had ups and downs behind the scenes, not with us, not with our family, just personnel, people to deal with. other channels.
Yeah.
There's, the drama's real. I think the drama in the community may have slowed down because we don't really associate with many now, but things happen. There's been some major ups and downs. Again, not with our family as far as the stuff goes. But I can just remember Tammy pounded her fist one day, and that was when I knew she really cared about the channel. She's like, "We are living in Diz, and blah 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 blah. This is how we're doing it," And I'm like, okay. So, yeah, I am not the king, but that's why I've been married for 21 years, because I learned that the woman is right 81% of the time, and you better listen 100% of the time. No, you can put up a fight now and then. If I really put my foot down because I believe in something and I make a good case, then she'll agree.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's probably about the same around here.
Mm-hmm.
We answered that one already. All right. So Laura says, let's talk crowd control ideas. Corey's toe being ran over the other night just solidified that there needs to be some attention to this process or some solution to crowd management. What would you recommend?
Who wants to take this one to start? So I've lived it many times now, and it's a serious problem in the hub. I have a new problem too, which is I'm tired of, and this comes from watching parents throw children on their shoulders. I think it's disrespectful to others around them. You've picked your spot, you think you're going to get a good view, and boom, kids go up. And I'm not even talking just about the stream. Just the other night, the end of the night, the midnight show that we did for Hocus Pocus, I'm like, wow, they're going to get a great view. And you all did, but a kid went right up in front of me. So I had to shoot it a different way. And I know everybody wants their kids to see the show. And that's the new thing for me. I really feel bad for not only the children, but anybody that is like 5'1", 5'2". Alyssa is short. Tammy is short. Jillian's short. They haven't seen much. How tall are you?
5'2.5".
Oh, okay. So how do you do and watch Happily Ever After? Are you missing a lot of the castle projections?
Yes. Yeah, especially, well, I mean, I try to stay towards the outside because, I don't like crowds. I'm claustrophobic. So I will try not to be in the middle of 10,000 people. I try to stay on the outskirts and but it never fails. Somebody taller than me always sits in front of me. Same thing whenever I go to any of these, pick 'em, Phil Our Magic, Country Bear, whatever. Someone taller, movie, sits in front of me. It never fails. And I'm just like, there's 10,000 seats in here, people. Why do you sit in front of the short person?
And I've done it and I've lived it. My kids were babies when we started coming to Disney. And I can remember just trying to hold two kids up at once, not on my shoulders, but under my arms, just so they could see some of the show. It's the fireworks at Magic Kingdom are really for the adults. The kids are not taken into consideration, and there's really no solution to it. It's not like they could put stands in on Main Street or whatever. That is what it is. But as far as the question goes, Lawrence and I covered this in a podcast already in the solutions to do it. I just don't understand why you have the hub and I don't know, it's a dead standstill. If you're trying to get back in the park, it's a dead standstill. I don't know how there's not fights breaking out. So how about that? Kudos to all the guests that are trying to come and go from the hub each and every night and not throwing fists, because it's certainly the environment for it, for sure. And that lady ran over my foot, and luckily I reacted and scrunched my toes so she didn't get them. But her advice was, well, maybe you should keep your feet closer to you. All right, Phillies fan. So
So I pulled up a map of Main Street, and let's see, zoom in a little bit. So there you have Main Street. You're watching the fireworks, and you have the backstage areas. Now that's called Market Street, the one on the right-hand side. I don't know that there's a name for the one on the left, but those could easily be escape routes or express routes out of the park after fireworks. To me, I think You open those up, and if you're on Main Street and you want to stay in the park, you have to continue back up going towards the castle. If you're leaving, you go through those because that gets you, express. You're going to come out by Tony's Town Square. You're going to come out by the fire station, and that's going to be it. You're just leaving the park. It's an express. I think that would be the way to do it. Of course, I don't work there. Maybe they've tried that and it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dead serious statement. If they can't handle it on their own, then just hire some real experts in this country or another country to come here and brainstorm that. And there's plenty of outlets over to Tomorrowland, Adventureland. There's other areas too to let people through. So I think if you really sat down with some great minds, they could fix it. But it seems like Disney's not caring about this whole situation. It's a very bad one.
And this is where it really gets jammed up, is right there in before the ice cream shop. Sometimes they'll close that next bridge, I'll call it, going towards Tomorrowland. And then you're forcing everybody back into the hub, and everybody's already at the hub. So to me, it just seems like you open up these sides to get people back in, funnel back into the park.
That's what I'm talking about. Those two outlets there that lead to Tomorrowland and Adventureland, they close them. Like, you should be opening those so people can start to bleed out into that. Yeah. Let them bleed out into that, and that will at least help a little bit, and just keep the people central.
I think that they should just go back to having the fireworks right. The park closes, and then you don't have to worry about dispersing anywhere. Everyone goes back home.
I did mention that too. If the fireworks are done at the end, but then you have the problem of everybody leaving Magic Kingdom at the same time.
Yeah,
and I don't think they want that either. So, and again, it can be cost ineffective. But if you did two shows, you might. This is what I think. I think you take Kathy's idea and you just bring it back a little bit. So, do the fireworks like it was being done recently. If the park closed at 11, do fireworks at 10, because you're going to get enough people that want to get that one last ride or two, like me, and you're going to get a bunch of people that want to leave as well or shop. That's probably the best thing for that part, along with the suggestions Lawrence and I have had before about how to have people exit at the same time. I think we solved it, or we're on our way.
Well, you talked about two shows, so our next question kind of goes into that, and we are going to talk about it on next week's episode. But they are doing the after hours party starting in January. I think it's going to run January to April, I believe, and you will actually get to see Happily Ever After and Enchantment. Enchantment will run during the party. So I missed who said it, but somebody asked, what do you think about Enchantment coming back?
I loved it. I loved Enchantment. I thought it was great.
You know what? I think that it is cool where you're going to get to see two different fireworks shows. I love that idea. So yeah. I love it. I wasn't a huge fan of Enchantment, but I do love that idea. And I'm going to make sure that I stream that some night so that we can share that with our viewers, our community. I think it's a cool idea. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I'm glad that it's two different shows. We like Enchantment. It was the one that we saw the most because we really started going back to the park. Well, Catherine really only started going to the parks in December of 2020. So she really only saw Enchantment. So it's got a good spot in our heart. So it'll be nice.
Sure. JJ DIZPod in chat said, I see what you're saying about you are streaming from the largest theme park in the world. How do you contain the amount of people going? Disney won't cap attendance for crowd control. I mean, they have the park pass system in place, so they really could limit the number of people in the park because it's been crazy this week. And I mean, at the same time, I hated having to manage these park passes, but at the same time, if it's going to reduce it by several thousand, then maybe it's worth keeping it for that. At least just for Magic Kingdom, maybe. I don't know.
Well, and I guess that was their idea on. You still needed a reservation on the weekends at Magic, even if you're going after 2, if you're a pass.
Yes. Yeah, true. So, but what's the set number? Obviously the number is high because it's been crazy busy. DIZPod also went on to say Disney cares. Unfortunately, years ago when the park was created, they just built Main Street too narrow, not thinking about the crowd attendance of the future. Great insight there. That's great insight. Yeah, it's not a wide street. I mean, it's a standard size street.
Yes. Yeah.
It's standard, if not smaller. It's very standard. No, it's probably standard. So, yeah, good point.
All right. David and SC says, I know Disney is always busy, but do you recommend any certain days of the week for each park that may be not quite as busy?
This is a question that's as old as the dinosaurs, and it died with the dinosaurs. There's no best special time anymore. It's all busy.
Nope.
You can't point to any time. I just know when I think that it's going to be less busy and it's not, then I go, okay, what part of the world is off from school or vacation this week? It's almost like the world has gotten together and planned this for Disney, All right, Brazil. We're talking to you over there in the Cape Verde Islands. When are you going to take off? Well, we're going to take November 1st, the week of November 1st. Okay, we'll take the week of November 7th. That's what we'll do. We'll just keep, it just seems like there's always groups coming in. So there's no good time anymore.
Now, as far as days of the week, I do feel that Sundays tend to be slower.
I was going to get to that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. I think Sundays tend to be slower, but yeah, a lot of people used to really rely on the crowd calendars that you would see online. But I don't know that you can anymore. It's just so busy.
Anybody that shows you a crowd calendar on their websites are lying. You're a big fat liar. You lie. And if you have a problem with that, email me at livingindiz.com. We'll talk about it because you're lying. There is no such thing as a crowd calendar anymore. Maybe a real-time one when you get the numbers rolling in right now. Yeah. No. Nope.
Not anymore.
Nope.
Laura says, I'm in need of a few more rides at Epcot, thrill, and even more dark rides. If you could add more rides to any countries, what would they be?
Great question. Let's see. We have to think about the ones that don't have a ride. Morocco. We need an Aladdin ride then? We need an Aladdin ride. I know there's one in Magic Kingdom, but let's do some kind of dark Aladdin ride. That's a good one.
I like that.
France has one.
They were talking about doing a Mary Poppins ride in the United Kingdom for the longest time, and I think that would be great to recreate that carousel that they have in the movie for Mary Poppins. That was a very iconic scene in that movie, was that carousel where the horses start to jump off. And I think they could kind of start out as a carousel and then the horses take you around.
Yeah.
Almost like, you get on the horse, almost like maybe like an ET type of thing, but you're on a carousel horse and it takes you around. And that would be a great one. Disney, I want my ideas. I want my copyright on that.
Michelle Hollensteiner wants to know if there'll be new emojis for after Halloween. Yes, I have to get.
Where's my emoji? Come on.
Next time we're together, let me take a really good picture of your face screaming, and then we'll put that in.
Thank you, Ann. So I always think back to the rides that were supposed to be there. So there was supposed to be a boat ride in Germany, right? That building is still there. It is huge. It's just being really used for storage. So Germany boat ride. And there was actually supposed to be a roller coaster in Japan.
Oh.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
An outside roller coaster in Epcot. Can you imagine?
How about that?
They can decorate it like Mushu.
And Laura also says, "Good grief! What is holding up Hatbox Ghost's arrival to Haunted Mansion and Magic Kingdom? Do you think the holdup is because of how the movie did in the box office?"
Wow, that's a different take on that. I'm just thinking that they're having technical issues. It's got to be technical issues because this does not make any sense to me. The timing of this just does not make sense. I mean, you've bypassed Halloween almost now, or you will bypass Halloween. You bypass the movie. I mean, the marketing would have been right. It would have been perfect.
Yep.
It would have been perfect. You would have had 2-hour waits for Haunted Mansion easily because of the Hatbox Ghost. And maybe that they work together because maybe it drives more ticket sales for the movie. True. Because now you've seen the Hatbox Ghost and now you're like, okay, well, I wasn't sure if I was going to see it, or maybe I was going to wait till it came on Disney Plus, but now I'm going to go to the movies because I want to see Hatbox Ghost. Mm-hmm. And I encourage people to see it because they made such a great storyline for the Hatbox Ghost. I thought that, he's going to fit so well in there. So Disney really dropped the ball on Hatbox Ghost.
Steve Bullock says, Corey, how did you and Kathy meet?
Oh, well, that's really easy, but I'll add a little something to it. So I am a physical therapist assistant as one of my many professions. And so I was working in a clinic and Kathy was hired and Kathy started working in the office. And that was set up in a way where the office faces the gym. So we're very accessible to the girls at the counter. And so, Kathy had a little bit of a tough time at work when she first started. And
I had never done that type of job before. It was completely new to me. So, I hadn't worked in a year and a half because, I had to when I first moved here, I figured I was going to take 6 months off, just kind of, because I had been working steadily since I was 16. So I'm like, well, going to take myself a little vacation. But then right when about the time where I was going to go start to, get a job again, my uncle got cancer. So I decided to not work and just in case, he needed me, take him to chemo, whatever he needed, I wanted to be there for him. So, that took an extra year off that. So when he finally went into remission, that's when I just happened to, be in the right place at the right time. I was just looking for any job. I didn't even really know what I wanted. Just kind of like, all right, it just kind of fell into my lap. I started working, at the clinic, and then Corey and I just kind of, we kind of bonded over our love of Disney for sure. So
yeah, we
we've
did.
been friends ever since.
And had you started the channel already?
Huh?
Yes. I had started the channel. It was pretty new.
You weren't
Kathy,
you weren't live streaming yet. You were doing vlogs.
No. Yeah, doing videos, and I was only going on Saturdays. And so I was getting enough content on Saturdays to divvy up 3 videos for the week. That's how we rolled in the beginning, and I probably said many times to Kathy, hey, we have 78 subscribers now, So, but I bonded with Kathy in the beginning because, and I remember coming home to Tammy and saying, there's this really nice girl at work and people are giving her a hard time, and I feel for her. And I'm like, but I like her. So I kind of took Kathy into my wing a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah. I saw the goodness in Kathy.
Yeah, they did give me a hard time, but you know what? Now they're eating their words.
Now they love her. Now she's the man.
I am in very much demand, and now I rule.
I like when that happens.
Yeah, she rose to the top.
I did.
So I'll tell you how I met Corey and came to be part of the show. So we had been on our trip probably last May, got home, and I wanted to see Harmonious. I was missing Harmonious. I think we'd been home maybe a week. And I said, I bet you it's on YouTube. Let me go look on YouTube. So I look on YouTube and I search Harmonious and it says live. Epcot, Harmonious, whatever the title was. And I was like, wait a minute. They're going to show it live? It's like, oh, let me see. So I turn it on, and the first person I see is Neil. And Neil and Corey are standing at Spaceship Earth getting ready to go on. And I'm like, so wait a minute. We're just going to watch this guy go on rides and then Harmonious? I don't get this. And about 20 minutes in, I was hooked. And you know, then I became a member. I started chatting. I was Ninja for a little while, started chatting. Then became a Diz Club member. And then we met October 1st at the anniversary of Epcot. And then just became friends from there. And he asked me to be on the show. Was that June, something like that?
The first time I had asked you was when I was by myself on Spotify, you know, doing the podcast over there. And of course, my brain was going crazy. There's so many productions that you all haven't seen because I just don't have time, or I come up with ideas and then friends or family pull me back. They're like, you're not supposed to be doing more projects. So, but I had a project in mind during doing the Spotify stint by myself, that why don't I do what I was doing on Spotify and what you see here on the DIZPod, but why don't I branch off and do one podcast that's dedicated to Disney music? I can break it down with Neil. Mm-hmm. I can also play, it would give me a chance to play some Casey Kasem, where, you know, some of you might not know who that is, but just do a countdown on my own, you know. And I did a few episodes. They are on Spotify and they are amazing. Mm-hmm. I did Harmonious. I broke it down. Each song, I broke Harmonious down, talked about the history of Harmonious and the song, each song, broke it down, and then bam, you get to listen to the song.
Right.
You know, and then I did Snow White. So I was having a lot of fun doing that. But when you look at numbers, it really wasn't even getting close to what the regular DIZPod was. Maybe it needed to gain ground and I didn't give enough chance, but it was really low. And I asked Lawrence, I thought, why don't I do like the business side of Disney? And for some reason, I thought Lawrence might be good for that. So I'm like, if I did a business podcast based on Disney, what do you think? And at first you were like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. You might be too shy to do that or whatever. But I knew that when I came back to ask, I'm like, I'm going to ask him again. I know him better now. Maybe he'll do it. And I'm so glad that you did it. You were meant to do this with me, for sure.
It has been a lot of fun. I mean, heck, we're 20 episodes in, and I'm still enjoying every single minute of it, putting everything together. You know what it does, though, because, of course, you guys live there and I'm a couple states away. It does give me a chance to get a lot more Disney fill during the week, because I'm prepping for the show and all that, and obviously doing the show on Thursdays. So it is my Disney fill during the week. So it definitely helps.
Your wife says he was into it, Corey.
I thought about it. I'm like, I don't know that I'm, you know, he's live streaming. He's used to that. I don't know that I could do that, but so far so good.
Yes. There's no turning back now.
No, what did I say? 500. So we've got 480 more to go.
Yep. Maybe we should count them down. This is episode negative 420.
Yeah. We got a way to go.
It'll be negative 480.
Oh, I'm sorry, Catherine.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, so this has been really good. I'm glad we got some good questions in, and Tara.
We've already done an hour. This is crazy.
Right.
Tara, this has been that much fun.
Was it Tara? I'm sorry, I'm looking for it. Yes. Nope, wrong one. There was a comment I was looking for. Anyway, she said she's going in a couple weeks, and that this has been very helpful.
That was Tara. Yeah. Earlier, Tara said that. Yes, right there.
Yep. Going in December, and that this has been extremely helpful. Listen, this is what we are here for. It fills us to be able to help, and I know Corey gets a lot of fulfillment from having you see Disney through his eyes and through his family's eyes. So yeah, we are here for it. Definitely.
I consider, and I don't know if anybody else does that's out there doing this, but I consider our channel a learning channel. You're having so much fun that you don't realize that you're learning about Disney. Yeah. If you sit there and you watch us enough, you're going to know how to navigate Magic Kingdom. You're going to know what rides to wait for later in the evening.
Yep.
You're going to know who has the best snacks. You're going to know everything.
Absolutely.
And if we haven't covered something recently and you ask in chat, I almost don't even have to answer you all because our community will answer for you.
That's right. That's right. Let's celebrate Steve.
Let's celebrate Steve in chat. He just dropped a random gift and YouTube awarded it to your lady, Catherine. Catherine is, so blast the chat for Steve, everybody. And Catherine is the head of wardrobe for the DIZPod.
Yes.
Yes. And Theo says, Corey is a star on every stage. Love you, buddy. I love you too, Theo. We salute Theo as 29 months as an LID club member.
So I thought, going a little further into kind of getting to know us, that I would show one of my favorite moments in the parks.
All right.
So bear with me.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
You dad, Billy. Who's your next slice? Don't fall, you'll be kneeling. You'll be kneeling. What is that?
Oh,
I'm a gay! Oh my god! I'm sorry, who's the next slice?
Sorry, guys.
God damn it!
I'm not going anywhere because I need a photo shoot with your ring.
So
Wow. 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 Come on, man. I'm not I am not a crier, but I got some tears in the eyes right now.
Me too.
Did that give me the chills or what? It was chills the whole time. Good job. Good job. Wow.
yeah, we planned that.
Love the Mets hat, by the way. Love the Mets hat.
Thank you. Yeah, I had planned that for a while with my brother, and that was a little tough. But we had about 18 people in our family there, and there were a whole bunch of delays. That's why it was at night, not during the day. But I think it still worked out really well. And she was surprised. That was 2022, February of 2022. It was actually Finley's birthday. Was that day. So I had the family there so that, that was the reason that all that family was there, is to celebrate Finley's birthday. But really it was so that they could see that. So
It
that
all worked out.
It did.
2, 22, 22. So it's all twos.
218.
Oh, 218.
218.
I said you okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I thought you said 22.
So that goes along with a question that was sent in. Will Corey be invited to your wedding? If so, when is it? I want to make sure to watch that live stream. Sincerely, Lawrence's fiance.
Jeez.
TBD. Yes, Corey will be invited, but the date is TBD.
All right. I'll accept ahead of time for sure. Now, if he wants it to be live streamed, well, you know.
I don't think I want him live streaming during the wedding. I want you to enjoy the wedding.
He wants my full focus. Okay, I'll be reviewing the food. Yeah, here you go. Hey guys, here's the cake. Okay, this is level 3 of the cake. It's a little dry, but it's not bad. It's 3 out of 5 Mickeys. It's not bad.
Oh boy. Okay, so I also want to show one of my favorite moments from live streams. I was not there, but it's one of my favorites.
Thank you so much. Did they tip well? They didn't tip well. What? Oh yeah, go get him, Donald. Go take him down. Hey, look, he's taking a fit. They did not tip well. We better tip well. He is having a fit, like Donald would. The nerve of people, right? You? Yeah. What are you gonna do? There you go. Yep. You lay the money out. You lay it out, right? Man. Exactly. You gotta pay. I'm working here.
You gotta pay to play.
I need money for more supplies so I can make my next sculpture. He's pointing at Neil. He's laughing at Neil. Yes. You are working hard. You deserve those tips. Oh, yeah. Look at those biceps. You have the biggest biceps of any bird I know. Oh, yeah. And look at those glutes. You do squats. It's all the squatting, right? Yeah, there you go. You got to squat down, even when you work on the sculpture, right? For sure. Oh, yep. See? Work those quads, work those glutes. I know. Exactly. You're the man. I was already a Donald fan. I am a bigger Donald fan now. You sold me. No quack about it.
Donald.
Look at
you. Donald gave Neil the psych at the end. I forgot about that. That was one of my best performances in the entire life of the channel, for sure. I listen to the playback, whenever I hear it, and I'm like, wow, I was really on point. Like, I did not stop talking, and it was the greatest interaction I've ever had with a character. It was just so natural.
Yeah,
it just made it, between Donald and I. It made it a great one of the greatest clips on our channel. So for sure,
and that's
great
because you have to interpret a lot, when you're interacting with the character, and you did a good job there. But that goes along with stuff in the survey. So I just wanted to show that.
Well, I have told people before, I have told our Diz fam and everything, that one of my goals a year or two ago, I'm like, what do I need more work at while we're live? And one of them was, I need to be really good at, I have to improve on character interaction, because before live streaming, we met them and everything, but I didn't know what to say, and now it's like, it's an original interaction every time. Mm-hmm. And there's been some really good ones. There's some really, there's been a couple times like, oh no, chat, what should I say? I don't really know. I don't have anything yet, and chat's helped me out a couple times, but yeah, it's fun.
It is. No, that was very good. All right. Where are we going next? You want to talk about?
Okay. So did you go through all those questions?
Yes.
All right. So we're done with the questions. You want to hit the survey up, and then you have some survey questions for me to respond to, right? Or statements.
Yes. So
let's do that, and then we'll show everybody my Magic Band collection.
Awesome.
You guys will like it.
Address the idea behind the survey, and then I'll go into the feedback.
Well, we really work hard to keep. I don't want to say keep. Well, yeah, we work hard to keep. We want to keep you all interested, and I know we have our core group who I could sit on a park bench like Forrest Gump and talk for 5 hours, and you would love that, me talking to you, and that means a lot to me. But I want to bring you all, a quick moving, not a quick moving, but a stream that moves, a stream that's interesting. I put a lot of thought into what I do. I'm not just going out there, putting the camera on and let's see what happens. There's a lot of spontaneity in what does happen during the day, but the thing that I do plan is if I'm going to whatever park, Magic Kingdom, whatever. I want to try to feature basically every stream. I want to try to feature a food or a snack, the nighttime spectacular, something that we like to do at the end, whether it's just looking at the castle and chit-chatting for a few minutes and then end with shopping, or if it's Epcot, we're always going to end with the World Showcase walkthrough. Those things are planned. But as far as, ride to ride and all that, that is spontaneous. But I don't do it as much anymore, but I used to do it a lot, leaving the park thinking, what could I have done better? Or I didn't like this part, or I thought I never leave saying this stream was terrible. I don't have too much bad to say, but I'll critique myself, your own worst critique, and I might have said things like, oh man, I really wish I didn't do that tonight. I should have gone this way and done that instead. But mainly it's technical issues, when we had a little more tech issues than before. So, I'll leave it at that. So for the survey, we just want to know. We want to know if there's anything we can do better. I know that everybody's not going to agree 100% all the time. So sometimes you have to take things with a grain of salt. If one person says one thing, you got to listen to everybody, but you have to weigh the amount of what comes in one towards the other. Because I'll say in the course of these, we got somebody, now I don't know if you pulled this question, but so maybe we'll get into a little bit more, but I got one that was like, you push subscribers too much. No one else does that. You push, and you and Neil are really aggressive with that sometimes. You're doing these other things, like you're doing giveaways, and you're doing this and you're doing that. But on the other hand, that one impacted me for 24 hours. No,
Sure.
About 18 hours. Then I went to the post office and picked up a letter. And this letter helped someone get through a very serious surgery and rehabilitation, and credited me for all of that. I love that you've started a podcast. I love that you do the giveaways and you push for subscribers and things like that. So, and he sent me a picture with him, in the hospital. Like, if that doesn't get you, so, but we care what people think, and we'll listen to at least take all of them under advisement. So
yeah,
there you go. That's the survey.
Corey stole my thunder. That's okay.
Jill says, that's not true. You are not aggressive with subscriber requests. What I'll say about that too is that you all follow the Disney live streaming community. There are a lot of other live streams that happen on YouTube. YouTube as a creator sends me stuff all the time. And I just want the best experience for our people. So like, people don't realize this stuff. So YouTube will send out a weekly video, and it'll be like, hey, here's how to get more engagement with your viewers. And I look at it and I go, oh, okay, I'll give that a try. So I'll give it a try. Whatever it is I've tried in the past, we try. Hey, this is how to get more paying members to support your channel. So you try it. There's a group of people that will look at it and be like, oh, they're just in it for the money. We are so not in it for the money. But anybody that says they're not in it for the money is lying. There's a lot that goes into this, and to get some kind of compensation back to help the channel, number one, we will always help the channel, number one. I was telling Lawrence, I said on the pod last week, I am paying something out on this channel almost, it feels like every day. It's not every day, but every week there's charges coming in every week for tech and things like that. You know, I have to pay for this podcast to be put on. I have to pay for the kind of tech we have. You know, the Samsung Ultra 23 is not cheap. You know, there's a lot of things, and that income helps us to not even think about it. When I'm like, oh, I need new wires, I order them. It's not like, maybe I should wait or whatever. So, yeah.
I think it shows, you know, in the amount of stuff that we do, especially now, me being on the show. Now I'm starting to do that. I mean, you guys can see my new lights up there, you know, just trying to add more to the show, make it more dynamic. We both have audio boards now and microphones, and yes, that stuff is not cheap, but the idea is that we want to put on the best production that we can for you, even in just this YouTube world. But I'll tell you this, if anybody's into that side of it, there's a function in YouTube now, when you say the word subscribe, your subscribe button, if you're not subscribed, it blinks at you. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
know that.
Yeah. And then when you hit subscribe, you get like these little fireworks or flashes or something like that. So YouTube wants people to subscribe because that's how they know who's into the show and who's watching that content. So that's why we do it. You know, it should it be the first thing we talk about? No, of course not. But people are getting content. I mean, you can see how our subscribers are growing, and it's organic growth. It's organic growth.
It is organic growth. I mean, we are an independent channel. We don't partner with anybody. We don't work with others to gain subscribers. Am I opposed to that? A little bit, but I'm also willing to work with the right person to do it. But I don't really pursue it at this point. DIZPod says, I hate to say it, but it seems that some streamers, let's highlight it because it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it, but it seems that some of the streamers who are in the park daily and for hours on end are getting more views, members and views. People like seeing streamers in the parks, and they do. And maybe that's more of the prime time thing. You know, we grow at a slower rate, but it's that very thing. I can't be in the park all day long.
Yeah, I
just can't do it. This is a part-time thing, and I like to think that if somebody sees our channel in a vacuum compared to other channels, so I get not accused. People think that I'm full-time because the channel is run so well and looks so good, but it's not. Yeah. I almost get defensive about that in the parks. They'll be like, "Oh wow, are you a full-timer?" No, I am not. I am not a full-timer. I do many other things before I do this. This is my passion, right. You know, and I guess it shows. But I know sometimes I have to reel it back and think, we can still be a bigger channel. We want to be a bigger channel, but our time slot and the time we're only able to be live, maybe we are growing at a great pace for that slot.
And you have to compare apples to apples. You know, if you're a channel that's putting out, 40 hours of content a week, that's going to be different than a channel that's only putting out 18 hours or 20 hours a week. So the growth is not going to be the same. But
no. And I have to realize that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know. Disney Dina says I didn't subscribe because Corey told me to. I chose to subscribe because I liked what I was seeing and wanted to be notified. And that's exactly how I want people to subscribe, for sure. And thank you so much, Disney Dina. Yeah, but you know, people just, okay, this is what I want to say. This is why I wanted to read this, because Dina saw it and she decided to subscribe. People watch and enjoy, and it's like they just, it doesn't click in their head to click the subscribe.
Right.
They love it. They're going to be there next time, but it's like they don't think of it. Just like when we're in the parks, Tammy will ask me, "Hey, did you like your stream?" And I'm like, "No, I hardly ever hit the like button for our stream. Right. I got too much else going on." But it's a shame that we shouldn't have to ask for likes. I'm just talking about everybody. We shouldn't have to ask for likes or for subscribers, but it's just people need that that to be clicked in their brain. So that's the only reason why people do it and people ask. And if you watch a video game streamer or this or that, it's all done everywhere. It's all done everywhere.
Yep.
I don't watch many video game streams. Jacob watches a ton, but there's one guy I'll watch if there's a new game coming out and I kind of want to see what the gameplay is like, and I enjoy his commentary. But he'll say things like, and it's a whole different genre, but he'll go, all right, guys, here's part 1. I will do chapter 2 on this video if I get 1 million likes on this one. I don't even know if I'll get 1 million likes in my lifetime. It's just, it matters what genre you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a genre where things don't grow as well as compared to other things. So I don't want to hold you up from the next thing.
Nope.
Move us along.
Oh, good. So Corey talked about the emails that we got, or the letter that we got. So I just wanted to call this one out as well. I enjoy when you stream the night shows because you have them memorized and knew when to zoom in and zoom out. Most other streamers give you a full zoomed out view, which is nice to get the whole picture, but your camera work highlights the major points in each show, which I enjoy. And she goes on to say, who does not love a raffle? You are so generous with the raffles. I have said that same thing about your camera work. I said it just the other day during the party. But looking at like a show like Harmonious, where there's so much going on, and you had it memorized, and you know when to zoom out, when to zoom in, when to pan up, down, all of that. And there's a lot of streamers that are just going to give you that wide shot and not focus in on a lot of other stuff. And it's just so much more dynamic of a stream that way. So I certainly appreciate that as a viewer.
You know, it's funny, in 2022, I think it was 2022. I can't remember if it was this year. I feel like it was just last year, but recently we were voted from Frommer's Travel Guide as one of the top 10 Disney park streams to watch in the entire world. And their write-up about our channel was, how did they say it? It's the most commercial channel out there.
Right.
And I thought about that and I'm like, what do they mean? And it's because I do the graphics. My presentation is a little more professional I'm not saying there aren't that many that are super professional, I guess. I mean, they're just there. They're doing their thing. I'm natural out there too, but there's times I have fun going into being a little more professional. You know, if I'm doing a read for an ad or something like that, or just the presentation of the looks of the channel, like they said, the graphics, I have fun. That's me playing. I love to play, and I always want the best experience for everybody. So for me, for a lot of people, it's just, let me turn on the camera. I'm going to share Disney. Fine. For me, I want to balance natural. Everything we're doing is natural. It's not rehearsed. It's not planned. But I want to give you a professional touch too. So for me, it's the balance of professionalism and laid back fun. And I think we do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. Well-rounded channel. I've said that before. You address a lot of people in the chat. You can see that when we go through the rest of the survey questions. So you had mentioned this one before. I'll bring it up really quickly. You helped me through a very tough time. During that time, I watched your LID live streams, and I got so much joy and healing and renewed happiness from them. Your natural ability to host and your positive attitude is contagious, and unlike other streams. I like how you make it family friendly and continue to think of creative ways to grow, like the DIZPod, your website, and partnerships. I can see your heart is in it. I hope you continue to grow to 100,000 one day, and it continues to still bring you joy in life. So, and that was a letter that was sent.
Yes, there was a letter, and it was extra touching because he sent a photo, you know, and he's standing there in his hospital gown, holding an IV pole. I mean, that really got to me. It's what it's all about, you know. Steve says this sounds like a Zoom call. You all hear us talk about our Zoom calls. We did it last night, 3.5 hours, I think. It could have gone longer. It really could have. But yes, this is what our Zoom calls are like in a way. So if you really want to get in on this and have us see you and talk with you in your own home, this is a little bit of how it goes.
Yep.
So yeah, all you have to do is become a Skyliner member or a Monorail member. It's a perk that I like to keep sacred for the upper echelon there of the LID club, and we look forward to it all the time. We've bonded so many relationships there.
Yeah.
So absolutely. It's really cool. And I was saying before, money wise, this is the thing. I didn't start this channel to make money. There is JJ or JJ DIZPod, I was reading his comments on different streamers and things like that. There are people that do set out to do this just for the money. And that's okay too. That's 100% fine. People, if anybody's making money, kudos to you. You found a way to make money. That's not how we started. And I've been accused in the community of doing this for money, and it is not that way. The money gets used for different things. It's equipment and broadcasting first.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows us to eat and do restaurant reviews. Do we get to enjoy that at the same time? Of course we do, but it adds to the channel. There's so much sunk into the channel. We spent $6,000 last year on food alone in Disney. And you saw me take every single bite of it on our channel. $6,000 is what we spent. And none of that came out of my working pocket. It came out of channel revenue. And we wouldn't have been able to do that. We wouldn't have been able to do that. But anyway, people that talk about that, that's something that helps us. It helps us be better. We're doing what we do. The money's secondary. We're glad it's there. It's used for a lot of things. We don't use it personally. It all stays in Disney. So there's nothing wrong with any of that.
No.
But we do it for the love. Number one. If I didn't love this, I would just go turn a camera on and I wouldn't offer any of this, any of these extras. Somebody said something to me the other day and it makes so much sense. And I wanted to say it here. Like, anybody can turn on a gimbal, a camera, and live stream, but not everybody can do it well.
Very true. Very true. And I can tell you just from doing it the one night I did, it's not easy. You're navigating and you're trying to do all this other stuff, make sure your signal's right. That's just the bare bones of it. And then you add into all of it what Corey does. And it's just very, very, very different than a lot of others. So,
JJ DIZPod. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
JJ DIZPod says it becomes disgusting when the whole discussion on their streams, though, is about how many views we at, nonstop about views and this and that and views. It rubs me the wrong way. Any live streamer that cares about their channel, they shouldn't talk about it live so much. But I'll tell you, as soon as they get off the air, they're looking at their views. They're looking at all the details. Me included. Like, we're looking at that stuff. That's like especially leaving Magic Kingdom. You've got the boat ride and this and that. I'm flipping through messages that you all messaged me during the live stream, emails I might have gotten, as well as, okay, how did we come in with views today? Okay, that's how we did. But I leave it at that, And there's one thing I don't do, and I'm just going to mention money again. There's one thing, because I'm just thinking of it when I look at stats and stuff like that. I never do two things. I never go to the park saying, our goal is to make $200 today. Never has it ever mentioned. I never even go thinking any of that. And the second part of that is I can't tell you from stream to stream what we make. I don't even think of it when it's over. Right. I don't even think of it as over, so I'm more interested in, okay, how many people did we entertain today? So, all right, I'll let you move on.
Well, speaking of that, great segue. Let's talk about how many people are entertained. So the survey results, it looked like we got about 71 responses. So thank you to all of you that responded. We know that takes time out of your day to do that. And we just certainly appreciate it. So first question was, how would you rate the video and audio quality of live streams? Out of a 10, Everybody rated it a 9.3 when you average that out.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I mean, it's set at the highest quality. So we're at the mercy of signal at that point. You're always going to get the best possible signal that we can deliver. And that's it. You know, there might be something that I struggle in that another streamer doesn't. And that's just all about equipment.
Yeah. Question 2 was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the level of engagement during our live streams? And that was an 8.3 out of 10.
I'm going to have to say I take a little bit of offense to that one.
I thought you would.
I mean, come on, chat. Really, how could I do better? How could I do better? That should be a 10.
Looking, looking at the details later on, I think you could probably take some of those low scores out, that they probably reversed them.
That's true.
Or might have been trolls, just saying.
I think it was the trolls. That's true, because when we looked at some of those, people rating that a 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And know that these scores, I took all the scores. I didn't take out what I thought was a troll. This is straight math. Question 3, how would you rate the graphics, the use of graphics during live streams? That's an 8.8 out of 10.
I am fine with that, because there are just some people that don't like that. They like straight up, let me just see the raw footage of the park and that's it. So I get that part. And I am very sensitive to that. If that was overwhelming, as much as I love graphics, I would get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like the majority of people enjoy it. And that's a private conversation that Neil and I have had many times. Maybe you got to get rid of the graphics. No one else is doing that.
Right.
Thought about that, but then I went the other way. I go, exactly. No one else is doing it. So maybe we should do it.
Kelsey Tinkerbell, we will go back. I think there's a couple questions still outstanding. So at the very end, we'll answer those. Would you be interested in occasional behind the scenes glimpses or explanations about how we set up and manage our streams? 56 responses, yes. 7 maybes and 8 no's. So pretty overwhelming. People want to get a little glimpse behind the camera.
I think that's something that is coming in one form or the other. It is probably going to be, it could either be a series that we release on the channel at some point, or you'll get to see it on Prime Video, Hulu, maybe that whole thing. So I had mentioned that we agreed to a deal to do a documentary film on that very thing. And I'll tell you all right now, any live streamers that are watching, it is on hold right now because no one else signed on. So
it's just crazy to me. It's
crazy. It's crazy to me as well. So currently, if there are any live streamers that, have a decent channel and you want to, contact me, because right now the working thing is they might just make the movie about us. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm going to get back in touch with the company and say, listen, I'm about ready to start filming this footage. So I want to make sure I don't start it, well, I thought of that. I'm like, if I start filming this and they're like, okay, maybe we don't have enough content, then I can just make it into a mini series on our channel. This is what we do. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
This is how we do it.
Kelsey, I'm not seeing your question. So if you have a question, please put it in the chat. You have no idea how long this took to put together, but I did a word cloud. I finally figured out what it was called. It's called a word cloud for these next 3 questions. So if you had a magic wand, what's the one thing you change or add to our live streams? And so for anybody watching or listening, word cloud's up on the screen. And the way the word cloud works is the larger the word is, the font of the word is, that's what stuck out the most. So what would you change? Nothing was the overwhelming response there. More streams, more character interactions, which is why I talked about how well you did with Donald. More resort streams, more rides, more Neil, guest host, and smell-o-vision were the ones that really stuck out.
And of course, nothing being the biggest, and it's way bigger than any of the other words. Thank you all for those positive votes on that. The character interactions, sure, I would agree with that. We don't have enough character interactions, but it's not that I don't like doing it. I really do, but I'm watching the wait times, and I evaluate that with how much that will slow the stream down. If I walk in Magic Kingdom and I look to the right and it's 50 minutes to meet Mickey, it's not worth it in the stream to do that. But I do try, if I see a lower wait time, I do try to jump in. If it's like 15 minutes or so, then I'm more likely to jump in and do that. But I will be more aware of that, I promise. I'll be more aware of it, and if there's some more opportunities, we'll try to add that. The only examples I can think of recently is we have done that, and I think Kathy was with us the last time at Hollywood Studios. If we have a little time to burn, if we have a little time to burn where there's, a ride that we're just waiting to get on or something, and we have time, and we're like, oh, Chewbacca's 10 minutes. Let's go. So,
And we had fun with that because I was dressed up as Ahsoka, and you had some Star Wars stuff on, and he was loving it. He was eating it up.
He was loving it. Kelsey said in chat, do you have a favorite character to interact with? Mickey and Goofy, actually, because when I greet them in their voices, they just love it. They just love it. But Mickey's a lot of fun. Mickey's my favorite character.
We got
Chippendale.
Oh, Chippendale is fun.
I love Chippendale.
Yeah.
Pranksters. Actually, there was one year that Chip proposed to me. He got down on one knee and proposed to me in the middle of the restaurant. It was pretty funny, actually.
Nice.
Wow.
I had the inkling the other night at the Halloween party to yell at one of the stepsisters and say, marry me, because they always yell at other people to marry them.
Right. That's right. That happened the Halloween party I was at. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I did see that. See that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Do I have a favorite Christmas snack?
Yeah.
Oh, you're asking me to think back to the Christmas time at Disney. I can't say right now that something sticks out, but keep watching because I'm sure we'll come across it next month.
Mm-hmm. JJ said most efficient way to interact with characters, do a character meal. Totally agree.
Well, JJ, now that you say that with the character interaction stuff, I've bumped up my game a little bit. We do all the character interactions. We do all the character meals periodically throughout the year. So I guess my game is a little better than I expected.
Yeah. All right. So this one was, what parts of the live stream do you enjoy the most? And would you like to see more of? So more rides, more interactions. Again, we just talked about that. More shopping. The food reviews. The walkthrough, so the showcase walkthrough, that was a big one as I was going through there. But also a couple of Disney Springs, more shows, and more ambiance. So people want to see the park, they want to people watch, that kind of thing. So
so that's all good. I agree with all that. Those are all their favorite things that we do, right? That they like to see. Yeah.
And what suggestions would you have to help us improve the stream? Overwhelmingly, none stuck out. So that's great. I think the majority of people enjoy what you're doing and how well-rounded the stream is. A couple that stuck out to me, people watching, as I mentioned just now, and there were a few that wanted a different schedule. So more, when I say change the schedule, it's really more streams.
More streams.
Daytime streams.
We would love to do that. We would love to do it, but not able to do that right now. But thank you. So yeah, those are good. Bring that slide back up again for a second.
This one,
if you don't mind. People watching. So okay. So for people watching, I like to keep the stream moving and interact with you all. If it was, an overwhelming thing, which that word is decently big. I'm not one to just plot the camera down on Main Street and let y'all watch. I do it a little bit at the end of the night, or if we're eating and I think we're going to be at that table for a little bit and it's an outside table or something, I'll flip the camera so you all can watch people a little bit. But I get a little uneasy. I feel like I'm not entertaining you all enough, but maybe that's not true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
JJ DIZPod says he's really good tonight. Join us in the live streams in the parks. I've never seen you before. If I want to people watch, I will go to Walmart. I like the ambiance of the rides and the buildings and theming. Have you ever seen the World Showcase walkthrough that I do, JJ? If not, join us at Epcot next time. And I think it's Tuesdays. I think Tuesdays I'm going to be at Epcot.
Okay.
And I do the World Showcase walkthrough. It's been done by other streamers, but no one does it like me.
Yeah. I'll go to Walmart. That one just stuck out to me because I used to work at Walmart. I would not want to people watch at Walmart, but it's just me.
Right.
So Jacob says, if you had to live in one area of Disney, what would it be? So I guess if you're picking a land or something like that.
If you had to live in one area of Disney, like I guess we'll assume parks, maybe.
Yeah.
Talking parks. One area. It's easy to say Galaxy's Edge because I love Star Wars. But let me think if there's, I'd probably go with that. I'll go with Galaxy's Edge.
The castle for me. Give me the castle.
I would say World Showcase.
Okay.
World Showcase.
I did think of that a little bit too.
Yeah. I think I had one more question that I didn't want to miss.
All right.
RMJ23 says on my last trip I did 29 rides, no repeats. Wow. Best experiences that aren't rides.
Best experiences that are not rides. If I break this down park by park, I would say that the Lion King show is a must see.
Yes.
Let's see what else. Magic Kingdom, not rides. I mean, there's not really much going on besides dinners, rides, and the nighttime spectacular. So I guess I'd go Happily Ever After with that one. For Epcot, I think it's the World Showcase itself.
Yeah.
There's just so much there. And for Hollywood, non-ride experience, it might be.
Fantastic.
Yes, that hands down.
Fantastic.
And Fantasmic for me would take the cake anywhere on Disney property. Fantasmic is the greatest non-ride experience.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yep.
Oh, Disney. Dina says.
Your mom kills me. Corey, can you spell Morocco?
I was going to highlight the one. Disney Dina says, I also like to sing along at the Frozen Sing Along. That is a great show. Catherine did not like it the first time we did it. And now every time we go, she wants to do it. That is a really fun show.
It's a great show. And I'm really sorry that we can't live stream it. That will shut the stream right down for some reason.
Do you know if you were to record it, would it do the same thing?
I think it would.
You think it would? Interesting.
Yeah.
There was something I thought I missed. No, I think it was Mom's question about Morocco. All right. Should we go to or anything else on the survey?
No, I think we hit all the points.
Good. I like that we did that. I appreciate that you did that and kind of opened yourself up to criticism. But it's all in an effort to get better and deliver the best show that he can for everyone watching.
Absolutely. And don't go anywhere, because anyone that did do the survey at the end of this podcast, we're going to give away a $50 Target gift card.
Do we know how we're doing that?
Do you want to randomize it like you did before? Are you set up for that?
I do have another way to do that. So
Okay.
you do this week in the parks, and I'll work on the randomizer.
You know what I'll do? Let me do. Let's just skip this week in the parks. Should we? Should we skip it? I know we don't like to. I'm just looking at time. We have. You told me to get my Magic Band collection. Who wants to see my Magic Band collection? This is my Magic Band collection. I'm hoping that I can talk over this. So let's roll one of the clips and we'll see what happens. All right, I think I can talk over this. Okay, so here we go. This is my trophy display. And what I mean by trophy display is these are my rewards. These are my trophies that I look at to show me how successful the channel is. Because if the channel wasn't successful, I wouldn't be able to spend some money on some of these things. So after we take care of things and everything, there's some money to enjoy some things. And so this just reminds me and puts a smile on my face that all the work that's put into this channel, these are the rewards. And there's a little taste of the mugs, a little bit. And here come the Magic Bands. So I kind of show them where they sit on the shelf first, and then we're going to take them off in groups. And I'll just kind of show you what we got there. Those are our special boxed ones, special editions. There's Dooney and Burke's there to the right. And I needed some way to display these. So I ordered on Amazon some bracelet jewelry holders there. And what you heard there was a little bit of audio that I didn't blank out. But I have two more clips here. Hopefully maybe we didn't even load them all in, but you'll get a sample of what my Magic Band collection is like. So there you go, Pizza Planet. It looks just like a pizza box. And this random R2-D2 was one that I actually got at the Contemporary. And I've never worn it, or I've worn it like once. Here's one of the Indiana Jones ones because I needed one. There's an Avatar. And I love Mickey, and that's a really cool, oh boy, white one there in film. And that's just the other side because there's always two sides to a Magic Band. And hearts in the chat if you're all enjoying my Magic Band collection here. And so there is one from Up and Millennium Falcon and Black Spire Outpost. I think that might have been before Galaxy's Edge opened. And of course, my love for action figures. And that's just the other side of them. I'm slowly completing the collection with those action figures. You know, I got the Spirit jersey over at the not the Character Warehouse, but the AP sale, and picked up the hat at the Character Warehouse. And so I'm slowly gaining on that collection. I wore that Oogie Boogie the other night at the Halloween party. And a bunch of other ones there. That Red Donald one, I have no idea where that one came from. Oh, it's a pass holder one, 2020. So there's that. And there's some Haunted Mansion stuff there. And pass holders got that in 2019 when Galaxy's Edge opened.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I got one more. This is about 2.5 minutes long. This was a set of slap bands that came out, and I wanted the whole collection. So I did end up with the whole collection. And these were a little harder to wear. What was that? Anyway, so this collection, I wanted to get the whole collection. And they're a little bit wider on the puck part of it. So they're a little bit more difficult to wear with the Magic Band Plus, so I don't wear them that much. But there was a time where I wore these quite often, and very diverse collection there of the slap bands, for sure. And my Disneyland one, I wear that one all the time. And we all know where that came from. At least I do. What's up, USC Greg? The Harmonious one, which came out after Harmonious was done. This is one of my favorites. Love wearing the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway when I'm at Hollywood Studios. This one was issued not on May the 4th, 2023. This showed up. If it showed up in the park, I don't think I really caught it, but we did catch it in the Character Warehouse. They just weren't available on May 4th. And there's that Darth Vader one. And I have one more, which is the dad one that I got. Oh, well, actually, this one. I love this one.
Yeah.
Epcot 40 years. That's one of my favorites to wear. And finally, the dad one, which I think I got on Father's Day, but I could be lying. Now, this is the special collection. This is Dooney and Burke, which I don't buy the Dooney and Burks anymore, but they run about $50, $55. And you get the gold-plated Dooney and Burke on the side, and the box is always very well decorative. And of course, you get the standard prints that come with Magic Bands. So I have that one. I have Moana, and they did a great job with the decorating all around that box there. And this is a band that I never wore. I probably will never wear it, but I don't wear my Dooney and Burks very much. I have worn the 50th, I think. I've worn another one coming up, and I keep the plastic on the gold plates because I don't want that to. I guess that's it. I guess that's all we got. But that's a taste of my collection there, so you all get an idea. Happy to share that.
Very nice.
And so you said go to. Should I go to Inside the Park before we?
It's up to you. We can do so because what we had was the email addresses. I didn't want to. So the music that you heard was the randomizer picking it. So I will display who won on
Okay.
screen, but not show the email address. I have to do it a little differently.
Okay, perfect.
Privacy.
Absolutely. We'll hit on Inside the Parks really quick because I don't want to keep you all too long. We're heading up to 2 hours, so I don't want to keep you all super long. So we will hit Inside the Parks quickly, and we'll announce our winner. So Inside the Parks this past Saturdays, we were, where were we? I can never, I always have to ask. We are at Epcot. We are at Epcot, and I don't know what happened there. Taylor Dane. Taylor Dane was amazing. We were able to get front row, and she really rocked it out, and I'm really happy. Again, I look at that as, I could have gone wide angle the whole time and just shot the show like that, but I really want to make people feel like they were watching a concert video or movie, and I think we accomplished that. I was able to follow her really tight and close and back it out. So from a technical standpoint, I thought that was really great. It was just an overall really fun day. Ate at Regal Eagle again, which we really love. You can't go wrong with some Regal Eagle. Let me know if I missed anything, Kathy or Lawrence, on that particular day. Soarin'. So with Soarin', I think that I can't really point the fingers at the cast members too much, but I thought about how could this have been done better, because Kathy is claustrophobic. So once she buckles in, she needs this ride to go off as quickly as it can. And I tried my best to try to calm her down and try to get her to breathe. She was hearing nothing. She didn't even hear me. So
I did hear you.
That's okay.
It's just when you fight anxiety as badly as I have it, it's very hard to the external stimuli just it's hard, really hard.
It's too much. That's right. And Joey Fatone, I got to jump back for a second. Joey Fatone was sitting behind us a few rows.
I got to touch Joey Fatone.
And Taylor she tried to give me a high five, but she kind of missed and then backed off. But Joey Fatone got up there. Honestly, I think he was just hamming it up. That wasn't rehearsed or anything. He was just having a good time. So that was a nice surprise. And I was really happy for everybody in the stream to get quite the surprise as far as that goes as well. But back to Soren, I was thinking, how could this have been done better? Now, kind of just knowing, I'll point the fault at the cast members only for this. They observed Kathy, and they really didn't take on any urgency whatsoever of the situation. They just handled the situation just like they were loading regular people. So I think that part is on them a little bit. But I think that, and I don't know if, I feel like Kathy's done this before, but on the way into any of these rides, I feel like we should at least talk to the cast members involved. Okay, so you do. I thought you might have.
Yeah, I have been. The Star Wars ride, I did it, and it worked because, you know, she said once those doors closed, that ride took off like pretty quickly. So that really was good.
So she responded very well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that one, yeah. But this one, you know, and I told them because, you know, they were standing in front of me. I'm telling them, you know, they're looking at me. I'm like, I'm not buckling in until you guys are ready to go, because once I buckle in, you got to go. And I'm very open about that. You know, this is my anxiety. You know, I have to go once you buckle in. Once the ride starts, I'm fine. I'm fine. You know, I enjoy the ride. It's that waiting, that being buckled in, strapped in, the trapped. It's feeling trapped. And that's what's hard for me. Buckled in, closed in, whatever, I feel trapped. So, but once I go, I'm fine because I'm absorbed in the ride and I do like it. But, you know, how many times do I have to tell you, you know, you better go, and just don't walk around and, you know, go to all the other rows once I buckle in, because you told me we were ready to go. So I buckled in, and then they go into the ride in front and they're going, I'm like, what happened to go? What happened to go? You know?
Yeah, they didn't quite grasp the situation too well there, but I have seen cast members respond really well to it too. So I don't know, being with you, you know, maybe if I have a chance to talk to anybody too, whatever, we'll just kind of make sure maybe they're a little bit more aware. 86JB reminded me, we had the funnest time in Moana, and I want to thank Neil for bringing us there at night, you know, and saying, let's just skip Epcot forever. Let's go play in Moana. Yeah. And you all got to enjoy Moana for the first time with us, and with us seeing it for the first time. I hardly knew anything about it. I didn't know any of the attractions in there and what they did. I did a good job of ignoring that stuff, and it was a lot of fun, and you guys got to see us be silly and loose and natural, and that really made a great moment. And it is beautiful. I can't even imagine wanting to visit that attraction in the daytime, because the nighttime is so beautiful. It's kind of like People Mover.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe to compare. I mean, yeah, if it's available and we're walking by, we'll go in. But it's kind of like the People Mover. Like you'll love it, but you know it's better at night. So let's wait on that, you know. So that was good. And of course, our big event, one of the big events of the year on the channel, is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So we capped off our record 3rd broadcast of that this time. And you know, we couldn't have done it without Lawrence making that 2nd one. And it was a perfect night. You know, spending time breaking down plans with that party for the first party I did. It was easy to do the 3rd party without thinking too much about it. You know, Tammy would be like, well, what are we gonna do next? And I'm like, oh, you got to go over here and do that, you know, and you just fill your time in with the trick-or-treating. We got a ton of candy, which was amazing. We were able to see a full pirate band show, and we were able to do Cadaver Dans and plenty of candy. We actually even did Haunted Mansion this time, and we caught, I forget her name, Rolada. I think it's Rolada or something. We caught her in, I don't know if Kathy saw that. You should play that back. She was in the graveyard. Yeah, just before you entered, and she was interacting with us and all that stuff. She was really cool.
Jill and I were.
That's when you were meeting Alice.
Characters. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was fun. So Jill and I, when Corey said, "Oh, we're gonna go watch the parade again," I was like, "Oh no, I want characters." So Jill and I, especially because we were in costume, I was dressed. Do you have the pictures, Corey? Do you have the pictures?
I don't, but keep talking. I'll see if I can get one in quick.
Okay, if not, I'll pull one up. So Jill and I were hunting down characters. So we first bumped into Goofy, Pirate Goofy, so by the Barnstormer. So we did that. And then we were like, okay, what else? What else is there? So we were like, well, I remember seeing Jeannie and Jasmine earlier over in Adventureland, over by the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. So like, all right, so let's head over there. Let's see if they're still there. So as we're walking through Fantasyland, I'm looking and I'm like, what is? Oh my God, it's the Mad Hatter. The Mad Hatter is like 10 feet in front of me, and I'm like, of course, I'm just a Cheshire Cat. So I was like, Mad Hatter, it's Cheshire Cat. I've come to say hello. And he turns around and he's just like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, can we get a picture? Can we get a picture? Oh no, we're going for a tea. We have a tea break and whatever. And I'm like, oh come on. He's like, oh no, we're gonna be back in like 25 minutes. Go to the teacups and we'll be over there later. Okay, fine. So Jill and I go do some other stuff, and then we went back to the teacups, and we saw a photographer stand there. We're like, okay, are you for Alice and Mad Hatter? And he's like, yes. Great, we were first in line. So they come back. Mad Hatter comes running over to me. He's like, oh my God, you came back. I have something for you. And I'm like, because it was like trick-or-treating, right? We were all trick-or-treating. So I had my bag of candy. He whips out a packet of mustard and he puts it in my trick-or-treat bag. It was hilarious. I'm like, I have to say, it was the characters were just as excited as Jill and I were, only because again I was dressed up as one of them.
Yeah.
And they must have spent about at least 10 minutes with us, just go talking and going over. And I had given my phone to one of the other cast members there. They must have taken like 25 pictures of the whole interaction. It was so amazing. And then we were done with them. We turned around and there's Tweedledum and Tweedledee. They're right behind them. And I'm like, oh my God, you never get to see them. So we ran over there. I put my bag of candy down, my 3.5 pounds of candy, and it fell over because it was so heavy. Tweedledee both of them, they come over and they start picking up the candy and putting it back in my bag. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like amazing. Jill and I had the most amazing character interactions with those Alice in Wonderland characters. It was phenomenal.
Totally worth missing the parade.
Well, because I'd already seen
Right.
the first one.
Right.
So I was like, I really wanted to, Jill was the same way. She was like, I'm really happy that we did this to go find some characters because we had a blast. We had a total blast. So it was so
the
fun.
Halloween part is just so much fun. I was glad, as Corey said, that I got to bring the second one to all of you, which means that this season you got 5 parades. 5 Halloween parades. That's pretty crazy. I don't know that Corey's up for 5 next year, but we'll see. I think we him and I have been talking.
Oh.
We've got something on the works.
Yeah.
We'll be able to get.
I'm all for it. So
Did you find the pictures?
if you want to, yeah, I'm pulling them in. So
Cool.
if you want to talk for about another minute or so, we should be good to go.
So he did beat me, or they did beat my family in candy. We had 17.7 pounds, I think. Catherine might remember the exact number, but we had about 17.7 pounds of candy. They had 19.6, I think. And they went to just about every place, right? Did you miss any, Kathy?
I don't think so. I think we got them all.
Which is not necessary. It's really just more for the experience of doing it. Because it's the same candy every place else. You go to Country Bears, you go to Monsters, Laugh Floor, they're giving out the same candy. But it's just that the whole thing of, kind of trick-or-treating in a neighborhood, and you go to different houses. But you could just go into Monsters, Laugh Floor and just keep going around and around and around, filling up your bag if you wanted to. And you don't need different disguises. You don't have to wear a fake mustache one time and then glasses the next. No, you can just go in.
Jill Walkbrick says, Corey, did they let you in with the tickets on your phone? They made us switch out to paper tickets. Yeah, we did have to go to paper tickets. We had a difficulty getting in the park that night. Tammy's ticket wasn't showing up on our account. It jumped to a different email. So we had to go to guest services and all that. So they had to give us that. And my Magic Band would not let me in either. So I had to get a paper ticket as well. We had a really difficult time getting in that night.
I was okay. They took my phone and my Magic Band, and I walked right in.
Jill and Jacob were fine. They went right in. Okay, here are the photos. So I'm just going to superimpose it right over us.
Cool. That is
Love
on
that
the
picture.
today, folks.
Yeah, I love that picture on Main Street. It came out amazed is. Everybody looked so great. So there was that. And then those character pictures that Kathy was talking about. Look at that one.
Where is that?
Great.
That's over by the Magic Carpets of Aladdin.
Okay.
We just saw Jill and I were loving that King Cobra.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just decided to, well, actually, I was taking pictures first, and then she was taking them. A cast member came over and was trying to chase us off the snake. And I'm like, oh, no. So like, hey, while you're standing there, can you take our picture? So there's Pirate Goofy.
Pirate Goofy.
Oh, there's the Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
That's nice.
Yeah,
this is
that's
the
a
last
rare
one I have.
Especially because you don't see them often.
Yep, and there's the Mad Hatter, Alice, and we're all
That's
Jill's channeling her cat ears for me.
Yeah. So those are those photos. So lots of fun. Love doing it. And we'll be back next year to do another, at least one. And I'm sure you'll go too. So
oh yeah. I'm definitely going again. I'm hooked. As soon as I left, I wanted to do it again. I'm like, I love this. This is great.
Had you not done one before?
Nope, that was my very first one.
Oh yeah.
And she got to dance in the Powerline group.
Yes,
so,
I did. I was trying to mimic the girls' choreography, the one that was in front of me.
You did pretty good.
I was trying. It was funny when she did that kick up thing that she did. I looked at her like, I ain't doing that. She goes, girlfriend, this is my choreography, not yours. You don't have to do it. I was like,
did she?
Yep.
Nice. Jill as Mavis was perfect, says JJ. Yes, and she didn't even need a wig. It came with a wig, and she's like, my hair is better than that.
I know. I was like, why even bother with the wig? When you first showed me that picture, I'm like, oh, she doesn't need a wig. That's like her hair right there.
Yeah.
No,
that was good. Yeah.
And we had matching stripes.
Yeah, I noticed that when I saw the picture.
We had matching stripes.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Nice. All right, is it time to pick a winner?
It's time to pick a winner. Let's see. I'll give you a drum roll. Congratulations, Courtney Gunderson.
Courtney Gunderson, congratulations. You won the gift card for Target. And I don't think she's in chat tonight, but we're still going to give that one to her anyway. We usually want people in chat, but tonight we're breaking the rules. And it was really nice. Saturdays we met Courtney finally, and she was so sweet. And her dad was so sweet too. I got a chance to talk to him on the side, and always happy to meet you all. And it was great to meet her. So congratulations, Courtney. We'll have to make sure Courtney knows that she won, and she just needs to email us at livingindiz@gmail.com. So we'll make sure we get a hold of her. I'm sure she'll be in the next live stream.
Yep.
And we'll let her know. So, 2 hours and 13 minutes. We broke the record, I think. There you go.
Maybe. But it was worth it. This was a lot of fun being able to answer questions about us, show your Magic Band collection, let people get to see a little bit more of who we are, and ask us questions, which I think is great. And if people have questions about the parks, they can always ask us, whether it's opinion or whether it's knowledge. You can reach out to us. You can email us at DIZPod@gmail.com, and we will certainly answer your questions. And of course, about a lot of people love the interaction, and we interacted way more with the chat than we normally do on a podcast because of what this was. So, and that's one of the great things about doing it live, and video is that we can still interact with everybody, which is great.
Well, we have another question. Brandon's Recovery is asking us, do we live in the parks or outside the parks? We live outside the parks. We don't live in. I wish we lived in the parks, but but we can't. But we live out. Corey and I live in Florida. We live about an hour away, so we're there quite frequently. But thanks for your question.
I'm a little
so the idea of living in Diz just came about because I felt like, well, people are going to see us enough on a weekly basis. It's kind of like we're living in Disney, So that's really how it came about, living in Diz, D-I-Z.
I almost pulled the first clip where you called it the wrong name. I looked at it today and I almost pulled it.
And the kids never let me forget it either. I mean, very first words out of my mouth of the history of this entire channel, I said the name wrong. Welcome to Living in the Diz or Living in Diz. Yeah, I did.
It was great.
Yep. David Nessie says, yep, AKA Living in the Diz. So it's been 5.5 years, everybody. Thank you so much for coming along with us, whether you just joined today or you joined 5 years ago. We appreciate everyone, and let's just keep this ride going. We have 480 podcasts to go, and we have 1,000 streams to go live from the parks. So
we'll be here for all.
Let's keep it going. We love you all, and our next live stream is we are in Universal Studios on Saturdays. So watch the notification times. That's always a later stream to start. But when Kathy comes with us, there's a little bit more of an opportunity to go live a little bit earlier. So just look for that. Yeah, let's coordinate it maybe ahead of time, maybe tomorrow or something, and we'll kind of have an idea of when we can go live. We should be able to work that out.
And we have to ride the train this time. The train. I want to ride the train. Ride the train.
If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. This way you know when he goes live on Saturday.
That's right. That's a perfect time to hit that like button. That's right.
If you're getting enjoyment out of this content, make sure to hit the like button.
If you breathe, subscribe. There's so many things. If you're a human, subscribe.
And happy Halloween, everybody.
That's right.
Our Halloween show.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Yep, we have the Haunted Mansion on today, and we can't go. I'm going to thank Frederick, actually. We didn't mention our main sponsors. We just want to hit up our main sponsors right here, and we'll be out the door. So just hang right there tight, everybody. Do us the honor of show the respect of listening to the ad. Where's the ad? Did we delete the ad?
No.
It was there a moment ago. I don't see it now. Okay, I'm in the wrong spot. Here we go. All right, everyone. If you're looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience, look no further than the exclusive range of properties located near Disney World. Victor's Homes are situated in the heart of Orlando's most sought-after neighborhoods, offering easy access to all the attractions and amenities that make this city so special. And with stunning views of the Magic Kingdom fireworks from your backyard, you'll never miss a moment of the action. Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate, LLC. He is here to help you find the home of your dreams with over 13 years of experience. Go to DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com. That's DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com. And make sure you let him know that we sent you. If you're planning your next vacation, consider booking with Your Magical Adventures Await. Claudia is a Disney travel agent who can create a magical adventure to any Disney park worldwide, including Walt Disney World, Florida, Disney Cruise Lines, Alani Resort in Hawaii, and guided group vacations with Adventures by Disney. She can also plan trips to Universal Studios. And the best part, if you book with her, her services are free, and she just might save you a few $100s. Disney pays her to create a seamless magical adventure for you, and her availability is unmatched at Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Make Claudia interested in your magical planner today. From Your Magical Planner, Your Magical Adventures Await. 956-455-8049. And she's a great follow on Instagram, Claudia Inderson, all one word. All right, everybody. It's another one in the books.
Love it.
We'll see y'all in the parks on Saturday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the DIZPod. I'm Corey.
I'm Lawrence.
I'm Kathy.
And that's the DIZPod. We still haven't figured out the ending part of that, but we will see you all really soon. Thanks for joining us for this extended version, the very special version.